Most High in Christ. Let's clap it up. Shalom. Yahweh Shemel Shabrakatah, all my brothers. Yahweh Shemal Shemel Shadow, all my sisters. It's the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. You understand, out here in Durham, North Carolina, preaching over 500 Tabawan. You know what I'm saying? Holding down the Friday LASHAWAN QADASH class. You know what I'm saying? Salakia for the delay. We had a little bit of technical difficulties. You know what I'm saying? We had to get that rectified or whatever. But we back at it. Okay. So where should we start? So again, this is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. You understand? We're not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite organization. We're not affiliated with any church, any political party, any of that. You know what I'm saying? We on our own. You know what I mean? If it's not of the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana, it is not of the truth. You understand? It's not the truth. So, with that being said, of course, Friday's like it. Today is the LASHAWAN QADASH class. You'll see that on your screen. I'm gonna leave this here, and I'm gonna direct your attention just right here real quick, just so we can break that down before we get into a couple of scriptures, you know what I'm saying, and resources to build on what we're talking about. So I'm gonna go ahead and erase this. Okay. So this is the language class, right? So, boom. Nice, you can go a little further than that. Salakia. All right, there we go. All right. So we say that this is the LASHAWAN QADASH class. What does LASHAWAN QADASH mean? What does LASHAWAN QADASH mean? What you got, Op?
Holy. It means holy tongue.
It means holy tongue. Most High in Christ, right? It means holy tongue. Or again, you might notice now when we break it down, you might say, well, that looks backwards. It's not backwards, right? It's just how older languages worked. So LASHAWAN, I'm saying the word LASHAWAN corresponds to, it literally means tongue. It literally means tongue. So if we look that up, right, and of course we know that our main, one of our main tools that we use, of course, would be the Blue Letter Bible. Now, if you have a concordance, that's, you know what I'm saying, also great. Sometimes better to use. But if not, you can go to blueletterbible.org and let's type in the word tongue. Like tongue, Tongue. And we'll go to the lexicon, right? And you'll see it used in certain places, right? But then we go down and we see Strong's number H3956. So this word, right, is H3956. Again, this is the almost like a reference number that we're going to use, and we're going to see used often to show us where in the concordance you can find certain words. Let that concordance become your friend. Let that concordance, that Blue Letter Bible, become your good friend so you can find words, right? So H, what you got?
Let me see. You said type in tongue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You may have to show me up here because
No sweat, I got you. Did you type in tongue, right?
Yeah, I did that, but I just got the scriptures.
No sweat. Scroll up. No, yeah. Lex. See what says Lex? Click on that.
Oh, okay.
Now scroll down. Down. Right there.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was saying. So after you go to, when you first go to it and you just type in the word, the concordance will come up. Now, we broke down before what a concordance is. The concordance aspect is basically telling you where this word appears in the scriptures. Keep that in mind. You know what I mean? We want to be aware of that. So let me see. So if we type in, 1 second, Salakia. I'm going to leave that. I'm going to look up the definition of concordance. Concordance. Right. And an alphabetical list, the definition of concordance, an alphabetical list of the words, especially the important ones, present in a text. So concordance just means, so if there's a piece of writing, a concordance is helping you identify all of the words that are used in that writing, in that piece of text. This number represents in the language where, or in that alphabetical order, where this word falls, right? So when you go to the blue letter and you type in tongue, those scriptures are going to pop up. After that, you're going to click on where it says lex. That is going to take you to the lexicon. That's what lex is short for, lexicon. Let's look up the word lexicon. Okay, so we know what a concordance is. We'll go lexicon definition. Lexicon, the vocabulary of a person, language, or branch of knowledge. Then it says a dictionary. A dictionary. Right? In linguistics, it's called the complete set of meaningful units in a language, but the definition we want is that it is a dictionary. A lexicon is a dictionary of words. Okay? Get up.
I was writing some stuff down when you was giving out the definition of concordance. Mm-hmm. Now I looked it up, but what is that in layman's terms? Because Google will give you like a generic definition.
What is the one you're reading say?
The one I'm reading, it says an alphabetical list of words, especially the important ones, present in a text.
That's the important part. Present in a text. Mm-hmm. So a concordance, in the most basic definition, just means a list of all the words that are used. Right? So if we're reading you wouldn't see this, but if we're reading a poem, a concordance is just going to tell you every word that was used in that poem. So the concordance in and of itself is just, you're reading the Bible and there's a bunch of words. The first chapter, the first verse of the Bible says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Right? In the beginning, God created his words. The concordance is just listing all the words that are used. Right? Usually with their definitions. So when we're reading what we call the concordance, the Strong's Concordance, is technically not just a concordance because it doesn't just list the words. In fact, a lot of times if you look in the back of your King James Bible, you'll find a small concordance, just like a list of all the words that are used. But for our purposes, we need to know the meaning of words. We need to be able to break them down. You know what I'm saying? Salaki, I want to check the Facebook real fast. Facebook and the YouTube. Bear with me. One second. Oh, damn. Loud and clear, smooth. Okay. No sweat. All right. So we went to the concordance or the Blue Letter Bible, and we went to the portion that says lexicon. That is the dictionary. That's how we're going to find the words, right? I'm going to show you another trick in a second. Just a minute. So when we went to that, we went to the lexicon, okay, for the word tongue, and we scroll down because we see a Maryath. It's like a Aramayath. We see Aramayath. We see Hassa. We see that. We see Harash. It's telling you every word that every Hebrew word that is corresponding to the English word tongue. It doesn't mean that each word means tongue. So let's get that out there. Doesn't mean that. What it means is that when the scholars that King James back in the early 1600s, those scholars that he commissioned to translate this Bible, these are all the words that they saw, and they ended up using the English word tongue. Doesn't mean that, just like again, if I use the English word hot, hot has a definition. But if I'm translating some foreign language book, it's in French or something, and I'm translating it to modern English, and there's a part where someone says in French, that's a really nice car. In English, especially in black people's slang, I can say that car is hot, right? And when someone sees it, they're gonna say, wait a minute, what? Hot? But are they saying that the car has a high temperature? No. It's just me seeing that the colloquial or slang word that can be used is hot. So don't get tripped up when you see all these different versions. Doesn't mean that each word in and of itself means tongue. It just means that they translated a Hebrew word and tongue fits somehow, right? We're actually going to see this in our breakdown of the word LASHAWAN QADASH, all right? So if we keep scrolling down, we'll see Hebrew word H3956, LASHAWAN, LASHAWAN. Please. Okay, why is it not? So the sister asks a good question, sis. Very good question. So the sister asks, why is it not spelled like that? Because if you look on the blue letter, you'll see this garbage. Writing it is funny. I'm going to erase this up here. So I'm erase this. If you look in it, you're going to see this. Right? That's what you see on that page, right? It looks like LASHAWAN. LASHAWAN. Well, that look like old girl's name from Bebe's Kids. LASHAWAN. That's what it looks like. But that's not what it is. The reason why it's not spelled that way is because the man who made the concordance and the people who maintain it to this day, because this man lived in the 1800s, if I'm not mistaken. His name is James Strong. James Strong. Let's see when he died. He definitely lived in the 1800s. One second, Slacky. James Strong was an American academic, biblical scholar. Oh my God, he's ugly. This is Strong. That's him. This is in case y'all want to know what this fool looks like. Good Lord. Whew. Yes, he was born in 1822 and he died in 1894. James Strong was a devil. He was not an Israelite. You understand? But that means nothing to us for the same reason that we use dictionaries to break down words. Was what's his name? Was Webster Israelite? No. No, he wasn't an Israelite. We use dictionaries from heathens all the time because they have access to records, history, and things like that. And we sift through it, you know what I'm saying, to find out exactly what's going on because they have the information. It doesn't mean that it means that they're special or we you know what I'm saying, follow them. Doesn't mean that. You know what I mean? It just means that we're going to where the records, even back in the day, we know that Ptolemy took all the records out of Egypt. You know what I'm saying? The Greeks stole the records. So this is history repeating itself. A lot of times you have to go to them to get access to these things. So to answer the sister's question about why it says this, to answer that question, which is a good question because it's going to help us understand this word. So we'll go back and we'll look at, let's look at the spelling of the word. Now we know in the UPK, we know how to spell these words, right? So we see, if you look at it again, the actual spelling in the Assyrian of the word, right? We see 4 letters. We see 4 letters, right? I'm gonna write them in Assyrian first. The 4 letters are as such. It's a la, it's a sha, it's a wa, and a na. If I wrote this in ancient, it would look like la, sha, wa, na. This is the key to it. Without going into a full-blown breakdown, right? I'm just gonna tell you this. In Yiddish and in fake Hebrew, this is the good question because this is why fake Israelites walk up to you and say, Shalom. It's also why they say what? Read my mind. You don't want to see. The Most High, give her a hand. Most High in Christ for her not saying that nasty word. I'm going to say it so you know what I'm talking about. Shalom. Shalom is not Hebrew, but this word shows how that comes about. So this wa right here, this wa, in certain Hebrew words is, I want to say injected, but it's put there or utilized when that's not the actual word, because in what is called matris lectionis. Matris lectionis. So in fact, I'm gonna go ahead and erase some of this, and we'll get to the next part of Psalms 83 in a few minutes, right? But does everyone have this part of Psalms 83? You know what I'm saying? We broke this down. We showed how some of the words, you know, when we read in the prayer, we say, Nashamawa, Ba'ayan, Da'ara. Well, Ayan Da'ara is one word, right? We broke this down. So I'm actually going to go ahead and from my own archives, take a photo as well. Salakia. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and erase this because this is a good question, and it's a good time to go ahead and just break it down real quick without getting too much, without doing too much. So right. So, LASHAWAN, right? There's a thing called matris lectionis. Matris lectionis. It means mother tongue in Latin, ironically. GP, if you don't mind, could you look at the definition of this word? Just type it in Google, matris lectionis, and I want you to give me the definition that they give. This is very important. Again, a great question, sis, because it shows the separation between us and fake Israelites. Let me know when you got it, Doc.
Oh, okay, I got it. Matrix lectionis are consonants that are used to indicate.
Or what?
Are used.
Oh, no, they are what?
They are used.
Before that.
Oh, consonants.
They are consonants. Go ahead.
That are used to indicate a vowel, primarily in the writing down of Semitic languages.
Right.
Such as Arabic, Hebrew, and Syriac. I believe I'm saying that right.
They're consonants that are used to indicate a vowel. But again, we don't want to spend the whole class on this. The entire Hebrew language is consonants. If anybody tells you, I'm going to say this straight up. If anybody tells you that the Hebrew language is not comprised completely of vowels, is a liar, or they just don't know what they're talking about. Every letter in the Hebrew alphabet is a consonant. Every single one. How, again, can I say that confidently? You got consonants and you got vowels. Now, what is the word they use to describe a language? Pause, it's on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of the word. An abjad. I think that's what they use. The word abjad, which describes a language that's comprised completely of consonants. The reason why, because you may look at certain letters like the I. There's a difference between a vowel sound and a letter functioning as a vowel. Look at the definition of a vowel, if you could. But we're going to break this down. Since you asked, I'm going to break it all the way down. All right? I'm going to break it all the way down. Look at the definition of a vowel. When you got it, read it out.
The definition of vowel: a speech sound which is produced by comparatively open configuration
Right.
of the vocal tract.
Right. What that means is that it is a sound that is made by your mouth where there's no obstruction of the airflow, meaning your teeth, tongue, or lips, pause, are not used to stop the flow of air. Whereas with consonants, that does happen. What is the first letter of both the first letter of the English alphabet is what? A. A. See, I didn't use my teeth. Pause, I didn't use my tongue. I didn't use my lips. A. What's the second one? B. I use my lips. C. I use pause, I use my tongue and my teeth. C. D. Pause, I use my tongue and the roof of my mouth. D. Then the next one. E. I didn't use any of those things. So far we got A, E. Didn't use my teeth, my tongue, the roof of my mouth, or my lips. Right? A, B, C, D, E, F. Teeth and lips. Right? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I use my teeth. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Teeth again. H. I didn't use my tongue, teeth, or any of that. So far we got A, E, I. You see where I'm going with this? All right? So H, I, J, use my teeth. K, use the back of my tongue and the palate. K, L, teeth and tongue. M, lips. N, tongue and the roof of my mouth. M, N, O. O. Nothing obstructed the flow. O. I used my lips, but my lips didn't close. Right? O. So A, E, I, O. And without going through all the letters, the next one would be what? U. U. A-E-I-O-U, and sometimes Y. But read on. Is there more in the definition?
A speech sound which is produced by a comparatively open configuration of the vocal tract.
Comparatively, notice that. Why? Because in every one of those letters, I did use pause my mouth, but comparatively, I didn't close the pathway. As in A, I had to use my mouth to say A, E, but it's not the same as when I say B, C, D, right? So comparatively, it's relatively open. Go ahead.
With vibration of the vocal cords, but without audible friction.
Without audible friction, me stopping the sound. Go ahead.
And which is a unit of the sound system of a language that forms the nucleus.
That forms the what?
The nucleus.
This is the key. Fake Israelites don't know this. Forms the what?
The nucleus.
The nucleus. What is the nucleus? The nucleus means the center of something. Go ahead.
Of a syllable.
Of a syllable. The nucleus of a syllable. The reason why we can say that our language doesn't have consonants is because you will never ever see any letter used to connect other letters. That's what a vowel does. As in the English word, you can say anything. You can say the English word band. The vowel here is what? It's A. It takes this B and this syllable. It's one syllable, but it's connect. This is the nucleus of it. Band. Band. It's connecting it all in one thing. Band. This is the connector. Our language doesn't have this, meaning that you will never ever see a combination of Hebrew letters where one letter is like the center connecting two letters. We don't have that, right? Say the word for sun. The word for sun is what? Bun, Salakia. Bun. How many letters are in this Hebrew word? Two. There's no letter connecting them. There's three letters here. Consonant, vowel, consonant. Bun, one syllable. We have two consonants. See the difference? Fake Israelites don't know how to speak this language. Straight up. Ba, na, and the connector is in between and it's automatic. The ba comes with the ah sound. Bon. If we wrote this in ancient, it would be same thing, two letters. The difference is we'd have this. Bon. That's the difference, right? Now, going back, how does this relate to that word and then, of course, shalom? Matrix lectionis, we read, uses consonants to what? To represent vowels. Represent them. So in Matrix lectionis, even though we see and know that the word is shalom, you'll see this. You'll see this. In Assyrian, you'll see right? You'll see this. Because they use this consonant, which is a wa, to represent the O sound, which we know is not in Hebrew, but they're Yiddish. They're fake Israelites. They're so-called Jewish people. They use that to represent the O. So they say, oh, you got the sh, you got the l. This must be O. And then we have the ma. Now flip it, and what we got? Salakia. That's how they come up with that. To them, the wa is representing this vowel, and they can connect it. Lom. They have this la and this ma connected. Lom. When, of course, that's not Hebrew. That's, you know what I'm saying, white people stuff. Right? That's how they get shalom. It's disgusting and it's weird and it's stupid. But if that wasn't bad enough, that they're using this system, that they're using this system called matrix lectionis, which was not present in ancient Hebrew. It wasn't. A fake Israelite, you know what they do? Here's what they do. They say, man, you're right. Ain't no O in Hebrew. There's no O in Hebrew. Ain't no shalom. That's what they say. That's what a fake Israelite says. Or a different brand, a different brand of fake Israelite says, yeah, ain't no O in Hebrew. But here's what they do. They look at this and they go, so let's break it down. Okay, so we got the Shah. We got that. My bad. We got the Shah. We got the La. Why? Because they were taught, they were taught LASHAWAN QADASH. But then they took it and started making this crap. We got the Shah, we got the La. We have this ain't no O. That's what they say. They say this ain't no O. This is a Wa. And this is a Ma. And we know the connectors. So this A gets eliminated. So put it in proper order. And they say Shalom. That's how they come with that garbage. When in reality, and we can prove it if you look it up, this is not the original word used. This is put in there later. The original word doesn't even have a wa. How can I say that? How can I say that? Because look at Solomon's name. For one, Solomon's name is Shalamah, not Shalawama. It's Shalamah. Then look at the word Jerusalem. It's not Jerusalem. It's Jerusalem because it comes from Shalom. If I'm not mistaken, it's pronounced Yerushalom. Yerushalom. Okay? That's already two pieces of evidence. And we have more. You can look at even linguistically. What do the Arabs say? If you look up any linguistic, you know what I mean, piece of literature or article or whatever, they'll tell you that Arabic is the current language on earth today. It is the closest spoken language to the original Hebrew. It's not Hebrew. Don't get it twisted. It's not Hebrew, but it's the closest, it's the oldest language that still shares what they call, oh man, what's that word? Phonemes. Phonemes, which just means like aspects of the language. And notice that, what do they say? When a Muslim walks up to you, what does he say? What's that famous thing they say? Anybody? What is the Muslim greeting?
I'll tell you in a second. I don't want to slip my mind. Assalamu alaikum.
Right. They say salam alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. The salam in that means, if you ask a Muslim what does assalamu alaikum mean, they say it means peace be unto you. Salam, right, is the word for peace. And it comes from shalom. Not this garbage. It's shalom. That's where that word comes from. Shalom. You understand? So now, I know I used that time to, I went off and talked about a different word, but going back to the word that you asked about, that's where that comes from. That's why it says that, because to them, this wa is an O. Right? So this little thing right here, it's supposed to be representative of that connecting vowel. They've used a consonant to represent the vowel, so they're saying LASHAWAN. Matter of fact, we can even hear it. Let's hear it. See if we can hear their pronunciation. Shalom. Count, do you think? Let's see. Hold up. Where we at? Oh yeah, blue letter. So you can actually click on it and hear their pronunciation. Let's hear it. What did I say? I'm gonna play it again.
Strong's H 3956. LASHAWAN.
Why? Because it's the same thing that they use to make that fake Israelite word shalom. So the wa becomes a O, and instead of saying shalom, they say shalom. And fake Israelites don't even understand that what they were trying to do was get rid of this. They didn't want to say shalom, so they turned it into shalom with that. Then they think, oh, there's a wa there, so let me say shalom. There's no shalom in Hebrew. If there was a shalom, then again, Solomon's name would be what? Shalawamah. Jerusalem would be Yara Shalawamah. Yara Shalawam. But it's not. It's Yara Shalom. Solomon's name is Shalamah, and even now the language that linguists consider to be closest to ancient Hebrew that is spoken today, right? They don't say Salawam alaikum. They say salam, because this is the word that it comes from. There is no wa. It's shalom. All right? So then with LASHAWAN, this wa here is part of the word. If you look it up, you'll see that this is part of the word, but they're still doing this old crap and turning this wa into a O. When that's not the case. Eliminate this old nonsense and say what the word is based on the lexicon. It's LASHAWAN, right? LASHAWAN, which means tongue. And the crazy thing about it is that it literally means tongue. The word LASHAWAN literally means tongue. So let's go look at it again. We H 3956, right? Of course, it says this LASHAWAN, which is crazy. From H 3960, the tongue of man or animals, used literally as the instrument of licking, eating, or speech. Pause. and figuratively, speech, an ingot, a fork of flame, a cove of water. So it's used both literally and figuratively, which proves what? What does this show you? Again, it's going to take a little bit of mind reading. What is the fact that this word is used both figuratively and literally? What does it say? What does that say? What does that tell you? That the people who use this word, that
the words are interchangeable.
Con, but I want you to tell me more about the people. I kind of gave it to you.
Well, how they speak?
Yeah. The people who wrote this word, who used this word, used it in a way that is both. They can use it literally and they can use it figuratively. When you see somebody say figurative, what does that mean? To use something figuratively, what does that mean?
Metaphor.
Con, it means a metaphor. It means not literal. But the people who wrote this language use words both figuratively and literally.
But doesn't that just goes to prove to you that the people that wrote it were black people, though?
Give him a hand. That's exactly what it means. It means that black people wrote, because other races don't talk like this. Right. They don't. And they make. Somebody tell me I'm wrong. Do they not make fun of us? They've made fun of us for the way we talk. Please.
So like, I was at the Slave a few weeks ago, and I was talking to one of my coworkers who's an Israelite, by the way. And
you mean when you say he's an Israelite, you mean like
I'm saying he's
a brother? Or are you saying
he's a brother?
Okay, God, no sweat.
Look, he's a brother that doesn't know he's an Israelite.
Okay, God. I thought you was dealing with a Shalawamer. Go ahead.
Nah, but I was talking to him about something, and I was like, "Yeah, man, you gonna be my new shoe plug." And so Edomite had heard the conversation. He was like, "Shoe plug." He was confused.
Right.
He didn't know what we were talking
right.
about. He was thinking about, a shoe with like a socket or something.
Right.
I was like, "Nah, bro."
Come.
He was just talking about and I was like, "Nothing, man."
See, because that's how we talk. And one of my favorite examples to bring up, and I found this out later in life. I didn't know. Who's heard the word salsa? You heard the word salsa, right? You dip you go to Moe's or you go to Chipotle and you dip the joint in the salsa. Right. What does the word salsa mean? No. Oh. That's the key. Because we've heard of salsa dancing. Right. You know what salsa means? Sauce. Salsa means sauce. So the reason why that music and dance is called, it's like a brother saying, yo, you know what I'm saying? Yo, man, he got the sauce. You know what I'm saying? Like, we look at that word to mean having flavor, right? Even the word flavor. You ask a white man, you be like, yo, man, you got some flavor. Like, flavor? Just salt and pepper? Maybe he used some paprika. Maybe he put some paprika on them. That's how they think. But we hear, yo, he got flavor. You know what I'm saying? And it just means, you know what I mean, he know how to move, he know how to dance, he know how to sing, you know what I mean, he got style, right? So that word salsa, which is our brothers down there, you know what I mean, our Issacharite brothers, our Ephraimite brothers, Simeonite brothers, right? Salsa just means sauce. It's flavorful. So when you dance in salsa, that's why it's called that. You understand? But that's the same thing we do because we're the same people, right? When we say, you know what I mean, oh, that car is hot, or we say the plug, right? We know what plug means. You know what I mean? It has this figurative connection. Please. That's when back in the 90s they were talking about Ebonics. Right, yeah. My man Big L had a song, Ebonics. You know what I'm saying? Ebonics, classic song, where he breaks down all of these different, you know what I'm saying, ways that because that's how we talk. Like he said, you know, he said, what did he say? You know what I'm saying? The iron horse is the train. Champagne is bubbly. A deuce is a honey that's ugly, right? He's breaking down all the ways we use a word that's not connected literally to say something. And so when it comes, this is how we speak. So the word LASHAWAN literally means your tongue and your mouth. But we use it to say what? How do we use it? In a figurative way. Go ahead. Language. Because you use your tongue to speak. So we say LASHAWAN, QADASH. Right? So now we got the tongue part. And now we'll say QADASH. What does that mean? Please. Holy. Me too, Al. It means holy. Somebody give me Zondervan. Give me Zondervan real fast. To see what holy means. Because, you know what I'm saying, Pastor Pork Chop is going to say, okay, so this is the language. This is the hashkila bashkila you know what I'm saying? All of that. You know what I'm saying? They're going to say, oh, so LASHAWAN QADASH is when I go hashkila bashkila. That's what they're going to say. Because it's language and it's holy. Right. And you know that they speak it in tongues. So the holy tongue got to be all of that. It got to be that. Let's see what the word holy means.
This is the John Donovan's Bible Dictionary definition. Holy.
So, read it again.
The John Donovan's Bible Dictionary, holy.
You said Zon what?
John Donovan compact. How you say it?
Salaki. No sweat.
Oh,
That's my little brother's name.
oh, word.
It's Zondervan.
Okay, Zondervan.
There you go.
Zondervan.
You don't want to say Zar Donovan. Right. No sweat, but no, you too wild. But yeah, Zondervan.
Zondervan.
Yeah.
Holy. Usually translate words derived from a Hebrew root.
Derived from a what?
Usually translate words derived from a Hebrew root.
Derived from a Hebrew root. So hold where you at. You don't move from where you at, Kawal. Okay. Right? So we're going to type in holy in the blue letter, blueletterbible.org. We're going to type in holy. Go to the lexicon. We're going to scroll. You're going to see a few words. You're going to see kagag, cow, right? Kasayad, ma QADASH, right? Quadawash. We'll see a few words. Here we go. H6942. 6942. QADASH. Meaning to sanctify. Now, I'm going to let you read what you say first, and then we're going to prove that the UPK is better than everybody else. So read what you got in there first.
Concert. Holy. Usually translate words derived from a Hebrew root.
From a Hebrew root, go ahead.
Meaning separateness.
From a Hebrew root, meaning what?
Separateness.
Okay, read.
Withdrawal.
Right.
It is first applied to God and early associated with ideas of purity and righteousness.
Right, because Most High is the holy one, the set apart one, right? So now if you go to Blue Letter and you type in holy and you scroll down to H6942, you will see the Hebrew word QADASH. And right there where it says root word or etymology, you'll see a primitive root. Just like the Zondervan just said, usually words derived from a root, the original word, the word from which these other words come from, which means separateness or holy. Now with QADASH, we'll scroll down to the outline of biblical usage. To consecrate. It's like to consecrate, sanctify, prepare, dedicate, be hallowed, be holy, be sanctified, be separate. To be set apart. So that's what it means. That's why we say LASHAWAN QADASH. It's the set apart language. It's the holy language or the holy tongue. You understand? So let me just write this real fast. Salakia, bear with me. What is that? H 60 something. H 6942. Sorry. H 6942 Salakia. LASHAWAN QADASH. All right. So does that answer your question? I know it took a while to answer it, but again, I wanted to use the opportunity to break down these other aspects. Right. So that's how you get that crap there. The real word is LASHAWAN. LASHAWAN QADASH, which means tongue, holy. And we know that in our language, the order between a verb and a pronoun, or it's like a verb and a subject, is you can put it in any order and it still makes sense. So tongue, holy, means tongue that is holy. LASHAWAN QADASH. All right. Any other questions on that?
So
please.
So it's like subject verb agreement. You were saying like
right.
How we speak anyway. If I was to see that being a Negro, I know what the hell you're talking about.
Right, and in most older languages, that's how it is. Right, which is why a lot of times you talk to somebody foreign, and you'll notice that the way they order subjects and verbs, it be contrary to what we're used to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They'll be like, "You go, you go,
right.
you go," and you're like, "What? What do you mean?" You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because that's how most older languages work. And our language, of course, is the oldest language. And that's how that works. You know what I'm saying? So LASHAWAN QADASH, even if you said QADASH LASHAWAN, we would know what you mean. Right? But this is how it's worded. Tongue that is holy. You understand? But we're just translating it back to the English to say holy tongue. All right? Any questions on that before we get back into Psalms 83? Any general questions? Any general questions maybe related to the language and things of that nature? Anything? Yeah, Doc.
I missed what you said earlier. I was actually outside. When you said the thing about the shalom, how do the fake groups, how do they get that? The shalom?
Okay. So, long story short, this matrix lectionis is basically a system where a consonantal letter is used to represent a vowel sound. Or not just a vowel sound, but also functioning as a vowel. So you'll see, I'll write it again, you'll see this. You see sha, la, a wa, and a ma. Salakia. If you go, matter of fact, let's go to it real quick. I'm gonna tell you where it is in just a second. Bear with me. My phone is bugging. Go to H7965. H7965. We're gonna break this down. We just did it, but this is, we can still talk about it, right? So H7965. And what, somebody tell me what letters they see. H7965. Go ahead, Kawal.
The sha, la, the wa, and the ma.
Right, the sha, the la, the wa, and the ma. Matrix lectionis takes certain letters, specifically the ah, the ha, the wa, some more, like one more. And they take because we learned that every Hebrew letter is a consonant. Every Hebrew letter is a consonant. But what this thing, matrix lectionis, does is it takes a consonant, like a wa, and makes it representative of a vowel. So what it does is, so now they look at this, and this is why you see it. Matter of fact, let's let old buddy tell us how this word is supposed to sound. Let's click it.
Strong's H7965. Shalom. Shalom.
Right. Shalom. That's what they say. Why? Because they're taking the wa and saying that the wa represents an O sound, right? Or they might throw a W on there to say O. Okay? That's why he's saying shalom. You understand? That's why they're saying that. But let's dig deeper. And let's look at the aspect on the blue letter Bible that says, we'll scroll down to where it says, Jacinius's Hebrew Chaldee Lexicon. Does everybody see that? Jacinius's Chaldee Lexicon. Right? Let's click on that. And if we read it, it says what? You see a Shah, a La, a Wa, and a Ma. And what says next? From the root. Go ahead, Kowal.
O'Connor says, from the root, shalom.
From the what?
The root, shalom.
From the root, shalom. Shalom. That is the root of that word. This shalom is them putting in this wa or whatever. And that's why when you go to now, we're going to go from 879.65 to 879.99. 879.99, and we'll see the word shalom. It actually spells it. It spells it, and it says a primitive root. To be safe in mind, body, or state. To be completed, friendly, extension. So it means peace. Let's see, hold up.
Strong's H 7999. Shalom.
Shalom means peace. And again, to show the proof we were saying earlier, is that Solomon's name is Shalamah. It's not Shalawamah, it's Shalamah. The word for Jerusalem is Yara Shalom. Yara Shalom. Shalom means peace. Shalom doesn't mean anything. You understand? So shalom, this wa comes from this because they put that there so they can make this shalom. But it's not really a thing, and the word is really shalom. You understand? And then also, again, we also talked about the Arabic, where they say that, that Arabic phrase, as-salam alaikum, which is the language that is most closely associated in terms of linguistics with ancient Hebrew, in terms of what's spoken today, salam. And they don't say salawam, as-salam alaikum. Okay? So the word is shalom. This wa does not mean O, right? We know a wa is a wa, but this is the problem. This is why, again, fake Israelites, where's my other, there we go. Fake Israelites say, yeah, man, this wa is not a O. This wa is a wa, which is true. And so they, of course, say what? Right. Most time in Christ, but not actually saying the full word. They say shalom, which is also false and fake. There's no wa. The word is shalom. It's just, you know what I'm saying? It's a shah, a la, and a ma. We just read it from a root in the ancient, right? Shalom. Straight like that. All right? So that's where that comes from. So now, with the remainder of the class, we're going to jump back into Psalms 83. Okay? And start breaking it down so we can know what our words correspond to, and so on and so forth. Salak, yeah. Any other questions on that particular topic? You got something?
Is there? I know I saw something. Isn't there like a book or something where it has a bunch of Hebrew words in there that you just look up and it gives you like the definition of them?
That co-
I want to say I saw somebody here.
It's not a concordance?
Maybe that's it.
Yeah, the concordance.
So the word shalom is in Jerusalem, like in Hebrew.
Mm-hmm.
So since shalom means peace, then what is Jerusalem?
Let's look it up. Let's look it up. It's like it's Yarawah Shalom, but it's still, you know what I'm saying? It's not Shalom, it's Shalom. But you can go to H3389. Mm-hmm. So so the word is Yarawah Shalom, right? Which means teaching of peace. Yarawah Shalom. Yarawah Shalom means teaching of peace, or to teach peace. All right. One second. Mm-hmm. Bubbity bubbity. So we'll go to Psalms 83. We ended off the last class at verse 11. In Hazamuna. So we're going to go to verse 12 now. It's like you had something else, GP? Another question? Kawal, you had something? No sweat, no sweat. All right. So now we're back in Psalms 83, and all we're trying to do in Psalms 83 is just get the corresponding letters and phrases. I'm going to keep this here so we can see how sometimes we end up having to use these things. This is very crucial to us. All right. And so, bear with me. So in the English, it says, who said, let us take to ourselves let us take to ourselves the houses. No. Of God in possession. Let me Let's see, do I have enough space for the next one? Okay, yeah, we'll give it a go. So we'll say, then we got verse 13. I can move this up a tiny bit. Again, Salakia for any discrepancies in the handwriting. In possession. All right, then we go right here. We go to verse 13. Verse 13, and we say, oh, my God, make them like a wheel. Make them like a wheel. Semicolon. We got as the stubble before the wind. All right. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to go to Psalms 83 in the blue letter once again. All right. Go to Psalms 83, verse 12, and we're going to click on interlinear. And you're going to see Septuagint, interlinear, then reverse interlinear. We're going to click on the one that says interlinear because that's going to give us more of the words and their meaning. And we'll see that when we read this in the Hebrew, and let me pull up my prayer real quick, Salakia, my Hebrew prayer. Where's it at? Nope. Salakia. Here we go. Verse 12. The word ashar. So the first word that we're using is ashar in the Hebrew. Ashar. It says ashar Amarwa Shar Amarwa Nayarasha Lanawa Nayarasha La Noah. Wanayosha, Lanoah, Ath, Na, Awath, Alahayim. All right. So let's break this down. Let's break this down before we get into verse 13. Ashar, Amarwa. The word ashar here. Now the word ashar itself can mean happy. Right? But here, the word ashar is a pronoun. It is a pronoun or a conjunction, a relative pronoun that corresponds to who, which, or that. In this sentence, ashar is the word that means who. So when we say ashar, that's the part that says who. What does the word Amar mean? Amar. Please.
In this, it said, who said? Or is that?
No, you're
Who
correct,
said?
but what is the specific? If when you do that, right? What you want to do is to get or try to get an understanding of exactly that word. If you look at it, right? If you go to interlinear, on the bottom on the left, you see right there where it says Amar, but then on top of it says Amarwa. Right here.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. See Amar on the bottom, then it says Amarwa on top, because the root word is Amar. Amar means to say or to speak. That's why shoot, like 70% of scriptures you'll read will start with Amar, right? In some way. Amarwa, Amarka, I'm saying Amaria, Wa Amar, and said. Right, so the Amarwa here is like, they said. Right? That's why it says the Wa here, right? So it's who said, but just think of this Wa as alerting you back to the who. You know what I'm saying? Right.
He said order don't really.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, but it's whom, like whom said they. Think of, you know what I'm saying? Whom said they? Salakia. Flip it. Said they. Right? Naya Rashad. We go to the next word. Whom said they. 1 second. The root word is Yerash. Yerash. And that word means to occupy, by implication to seize, to rob, to inherit. You understand? Third person common plural. So no, not that word. I'm bugging. Let me go to Naya Rashah. Marwa. Amar who said. Naya Rashah. Cohortative first person common plural. You understand? So this Naya Rashah is like we're taking. You know what I'm saying? Naya Rashah is like corresponds to us take. Now, then we have to ourselves. Now we can use some of the things we've learned. How does this, it's pretty obvious if you look at it. How does this correspond to Lanawa? Look right here. I just basically gave it to you.
So how does it correspond to?
Lanawa. Mm-hmm. Okay, what you got, GB?
The word is made up of prepositional phrases.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. It's made up of a preposition in conjunction with a suffix. And if you look in the Hebrew, in the blue letter, and you click on where it says interlinear, and you go down to where you see the word lanawa, the la, the not, and the wa, you'll see where it says under Strong's, it says not available. It says not available. Why does it say not available? Because it's not a word. It's not a singular word. But if you click on that little weird HRSP thing, it'll say preposition, suffix, pronominal first person common plural. So what it's telling you is that this is a collection of these things. La means 2 or 4. So the la is literally corresponding to the 2, and the Noah is corresponding to ourselves. It basically means to us. To us. Right? Who said they? We take to ourselves or to us. Right? Now we keep going. Ath. Second. Bear with me. Particle direct object marker. Definite direct object. Definite direct objects answers a direct object answers the what or whom in the sentence. For our readers, it can be either indefinite, a waiter, a letter, or definite, the waiter. In this article, we're focusing on the definite direct object. So this oth here, it just means it's going back to this word, right? It's just telling you it's the direct object of that word. And that word means, in this sentence, house, but not house in the usual sense that we might use it, right? It comes from the word na'ah, pasture, abode of a shepherd, habitation, right? Or the habitation. So it's like saying the habitation. The habitation. Understand? So this together just means the house or the houses. The habitation. I like that better. I'm gonna write it. I'm gonna write here. And then, of course, Elohim, we know corresponds to the Most High. Right? So in Hebrew, if we break it down, whom said they, we take to us the habitation of God. It makes it so much more because it calls us God's habitation. As opposed to, because a Christian pastor will tell you that, you know, this is the house of God. Right. This is the house of God. Right? But this scripture is saying that we're the habitation. We're where the Most High resides. We're gonna take them. We're gonna basically enslave them, which shows you what this is talking about. We're gonna enslave the habitation of the Most High. You understand? Oh, it's like there's one more part. So like to us of the house of God in possession. 1 second. Oh no, we did. We did already, I think. Who said Salakia? The Naya Rashah, I knew something was off. The Naya Rashah means in possession. So I'm sorry, Salakia, bear with me. This is not the take. I knew it was funny. So this Lanawa really is this whole us take. Okay. In possession is Naya Rashah. So really it's saying who said they in possession to ourselves, right? In possession to ourselves or take to ourselves the houses of God. In possession is Naya Rashah. Salakia, bear with me for that. Yeah, it's not That's not the let us take part. Because the Yarashah means to possess. Right? Who said to ourselves. So Shahum said in possession to us. Right? The possession, the habitation of God. That's what it means. Salakia for that. Now we're going to jump to verse 13. I knew it was going to take a few weeks. We're probably going to have to, we might be able to do 2 more. So we're going to try to pause. We're going to squeeze out 2 more out of this. So verse 13 starts off with, let me go to my joint. Here we go, verse 13. So it's Alahaya, Alahaya. Alahaya, Shayatamwa, Shayatamwa, Kagolgala, Kagolgala, Kakwash, Lapunya Rabaka. Make sure I spell it right, Salakia. Yeah, Kakwash, Lapunya Rabaka. Kakwash. Lapunya. Rabaka. All right. So, of course, we know, how do you say my power or my God in Hebrew? You see now, we see that the suffix or determiner to say my is Yah. That's how we get Alahaya. Alahaya. That means my power, right? Okay. And then we go to the next word. The word to make is shayath. Shayath. To make, to set. All right.
So,
Please.
Salakia, sir. So with the y on the end, those are that's not preposition because it's the end of the word. But so is that saying where it says and, so like a connector?
If you look at the interlinear, you're close though. It says verb, qual, imperative, second person masculine singular, then suffix pronominal third person masculine plural. Okay. So Shayatamwa would be like, right, it would be like, how do I say it? It's like make them. Same way we said Amar, right?
Okay.
Amarwa said they. This was like, it's like make them.
Make con, I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Or set them. You know what I'm saying? So this corresponds.
Right, 'cause it says to put set here.
Right.
Okay. Too late.
Second. So Shayatumwa, make them. Then we have that. Thou knowing that makes this make much more sense. Kagolgala, because why? The word is galgal, or it's like a galgala. Galgala means a wheel. By analogy, a whirlwind. Right? And how do we say for something to be like something?
Slakia, ka.
That's why this is kagolgala. You feel me? Because the ka, right, like or as. Make them like or as this. Kagolgala, which means a wheel. Kagolgala. Then we continue in the same thing. Then it says kagolgala, kakwash, which means, because it comes from the word quash, which means stubble. You understand? Or chaff, right? Kakwash, as, make them as stubble. Right? Make them as stubble. And then the next word, it's like Shaitamwa Golakakwash. Lapunya comes from the word punyam, which is before. To face something or the face of something. Right? My power make them as a wheel, as stubble, before or facing. So this before is like facing. Make them as stubble. And here we go. Right, again. Make them as stubble to face, or for facing, we'll say to face. Make them as stubble to face. And then, of course, Rawaka means wind here. Wind or breath. Make them as stubble to face wind. So technically, there really is no the. And same thing with here. There's no the here. It's just like as stubble. There really is no O. It's just my power. Alahaya. My power. Make them as wheel. Or as a wheel. As stubble. To face wind. Or facing wind.
It's like I said, that's crazy because it's like it's a simple language.
Yeah, very.
It's like it takes out all the extra stuff.
It takes out all that extra, right to the point. Right to the point. You know what I'm saying? Who said they possess to us houses or the habitation of God? Very simple. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just thought about something too. Like even when we use language in Hebrew, like the brother just said, I mean, it's simple and it's direct, straight to the point. And if you think about it, how we as Israelites, we as black people speak today, a lot of people say like we speak with a slang, which we do, but a lot of people will say we speak lazy.
Right.
But that's really not the case.
Not at all.
It's actually straight and direct to the point. It's just like Hebrew.
100%.
It's just amazing.
Right. It's really it's a devil who's gonna try to hide a bunch of stuff in language. Have you ever heard like the fine print of something? You ever watch a commercial and be like, buy this new medicine, and at the end of it, and they say, yeah, it'll kill you, you get diabetes. Right. They put a bunch of language They try to hide something from you. But our language, like you said, is direct. Both of you brothers, is Tawab. It's direct and to the point, letting you know what's going on. And it's strong. Let's get that real quick, that intro. Let's end with that intro to the book of Ecclesiasticus. You know what I'm saying? Again, I knew this was going to take a couple weeks, you know what I'm saying, to get this really down. You know what I mean? So we'll try next week to finish it. You know what I mean? Okay. Yeah, just tell them where it's at. No, it's like a preface. It's right before the book. Okay.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus.
This is the preface to the book of Ecclesiasticus. Like the brothers just brought out how direct this language is. You understand? And it's very true. This is just a fact. Go ahead, read it out.
Come, sir. Wherefore, let me entreat you to read it with favor and attention, and to pardon us, wherein we may seem to come short of some words.
Pardon us when we come short of some words, because we're translating it. So pardon us if we come short of some words. Read.
Wherein we may seem to come short of some words, which we have labored to interpret.
We worked. We tried. We did our best to interpret it. Go ahead.
For the same things uttered in Hebrew.
For the same things uttered what?
In Hebrew.
For the same things uttered in Hebrew. Go ahead.
And translated into another tongue.
But translated to another language. Go ahead.
Have not the same force in them.
They don't have the same force in that language. Go ahead.
And not only these things, but the law itself.
But the law itself, letting you know that when you translate it to another language, it doesn't have the same force, right? Now, we use that KJV, that King James Bible, because it is the closest and the best translation there is. But even the King James comes short on a couple of words, and we in the ISUPK, we go ahead and we clean it up. But that's why we even have a LASHAWAN QADASH class, so we can get to the root of these words, so we can break down the understanding and the true order, you understand, and way that this language works. Because of that, because we want to get to the force that's in the original language, you understand. And so we're not going to really have enough time again. So next week we're going, you know what I mean, we got I think like 4 verses left. We talked a lot today about breaking down some other stuff. It's no sweat. So next week we're just gonna try to just get right into it and break down these last couple of verses. I want to say there's 18 verses, so 5 verses left, and we're gonna try to break it down in similar fashion. So we're seeing the force of this language. You know what I'm saying? Let us take. Remember, you gotta remember, this was written in Old Quaker English. This is written in Shakespeare's time. This is written during the height, and of course, let's not also forget that it was commissioned by who? By King James. So of course it's going to have an air of decadence and this high speech. Let us take to ourselves the houses. Right. It wasn't that, you know what I'm saying, smooth. It was like, who said they? Take to us. Right? In possession, take to us. House, Yahweh. Or it's like a house, God. God's house. Straight and barbaric and what it is and to the point. They called it barbaric, but it's not barbaric. It's just not filled with a bunch of fluff and nonsense. You understand? So is there any questions on this so far? Any questions related to any of this? Anybody want to bring out? No sweat. Most High in Christ. Like I said, next week, we're going to do more of this. We're going to try to finish Psalms 83 next week. Maybe squeeze in a little more. Just some review. We got to get back to these letters. We've been on this for a couple weeks now. We want to get back to breaking down these letters and showing how we actually write in the Hebrew and things like that. You understand? And so with that, I'm going to pass the class over to Priest and Officer Gaparyath.
Security announcements. We're the ISUPK out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. under Commanding General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or a sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers chapters 18 verses 21 and Malachi chapter 3 verses 8 through 10. Ma'asher, which means tenth in Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation is the Feast of Purim, which is the 14th day of the 15th day of the 12th month. And that is Thursday, February 25th and through Friday, February 26th, 2021. And you can find this in the book of Esther, the 9th chapter, verses 20 through 31. And just as a reminder to all Akim and Akwathian to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he is to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts,